Hello there, welcome back to another Trailmakers video, and today, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make WWII Bomber. Now as you can see here, I have already built a Lancaster bomber. I made this in the past sometime, I don't remember exactly when. I saw a comment on my WWII Fighters video saying they would like to see me build like a Lancaster bomber. So I thought the next best thing I could do, since I've already built one before then, would be to make the Flying Fortress. So I'll do a little showcase of this first. I think it looks pretty cool. Each seat controls its own thing. So, gun, and then these guns in the back can actually rotate, which is pretty cool. It flies decently for such a big build. And the yaw works pretty well. Now let's go in for a bombing run on the aircraft carrier. You can press down on the D-pad to drop the bombs. If you hold it, it carpet bombs. I think it works pretty well, looks pretty cool. And I'll give you a little comparison next to my Spitfire. It's pretty big. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. But without further ado, let's get on to building the Flying Fortress. If you did watch my WWII Fighters video, you'll remember the first thing you're going to want to do is get a reference photo of the plane you're trying to build. I've got one and I'll put it on screen right now. And when you're actually starting to build the plane, the first thing you're going to want to do is start from the front. Now by the looks of it, it's got a gunner seat at the front, so we're going to be using the diamond bell, because it's nice glass, it's spherical, looks just like the seat there. And then it's got a gun underneath, almost, yeah, pretty much directly underneath, which we'll build as kind of like circular. So we want this, yes, okay. No, we're gonna want that to be one outwards, so I can fit in if we go over here, a 2x4 to be precise, and then add the guns under. Do I want the guns to have lock-on? Preferably I would, however, with the way it looks on the reference photo, I can't exactly do it like that unless I had them like this, which doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look exactly right. I'll leave it like this for now, I can always go back and change it later. Now let's start working on the actual rest of the fuselage. And then we can add one of these on each side of the... Yes, okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Which means this is going to want to go out a little bit more to about there, I'd say. How does that look? It doesn't look too bad compared to the reference image. And then it's going to start going up to the cockpit, which is slightly angled actually, so what if we did that, and then did this? How does that look? That looks pretty good actually, yeah, I'm happy with that. We want to be able to fit in the pilot seat, which is going to be the go-kart seat. If we put that there, that should be fine. And then we can add 2x4s on top. Because the hip box of the go-kart seat is inconvenient, we can do something like this, and then add a 1x4 there. How does this look? Let's get the angle of the reference image. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. But we're also gonna want the sides to be done. So let's continue building out so we can actually have like a baseline for the sides. How's that? That's pretty good. And then on the bottom, it looks like it just angles upwards into the rest of the plane. So if we do that, roll that into one of these. Nope, in the center like that. That looks pretty good. Yeah. And this can extend backwards. Yes, okay, this is starting to look good. Let's add a 2x4 in this gap here. Extend this out. This actually goes back a decent amount before it actually curves down. Oh, I'm missing something. I'm missing the gunner right behind the actual cockpit of the pilot, which is facing backwards. That's pretty big. We can cover it up. I should be able to cover it up. Yeah, if I add 3x4s on the side, yeah, that'll cover that up. So you can only see the top. Which leads into some of these. Yes. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And we'll add the guns as well. Smart cannons. Yeah. Yep, okay, that's fine. Goes back to there. How far back does this actually go? A decent amount. How's that? Is that too much? That looks about right actually. And then it slopes down to the rest of the plane. Right, let's start building the body back a bit more. And then we'll start focusing on the wings, which are going to be an interesting process because the wings are pretty big on bombers. Okay. So the wings begin at about, actually pretty flat for the most part. They start tapering outwards at the end. So if I just start building using wing pieces straight away, and the wings will connect at just behind where the pilot is there. That looks about right actually. So I think we've got room for one wing piece, and then there's one of the engines, which is going to be interesting to design. Let's start working on that straight away. We'll build it slightly further out. Going to want the large propeller, and it's pretty much immediately circular, so let's see how this would look. Alright, that won't be too bad. Yeah, that wasn't too difficult. We'll always add to it. We're going to add to it later. That sits just in front, slightly under the wing. Okay. We're gonna want to be able to have the landing gear go up into this particular engine. So we're gonna want a piston with the landing gear underneath, inside the engine, but not this far forward. So at about here, with the landing gear attached. And then we're going to want to start building this to encompass the landing gear. So instead of using that, we'll use a bigger rounded piece like that. Yes. Yeah. It's pretty much just that. And if we move the landing gear forwards, like upwards and forwards. How can it connect to that in the image? If we move this forward slightly, there's lots of fine tuning for how we want it to look, but we want it to look good. So if we then add a small, that's a big one, small angled piece going up into the wing, so it fades into the wing more in a more elegant way. I can't think of the word. More subtly. That'll do. And then we can add this here. Yeah, okay, it's all connected up, and continue the rounded shape, so we can use, instead of more of this piece, we'll use one of these, because the landing gear needs to be able to go inside. Yeah, that looks fine. Also add it underneath. Rotate this. The landing gear will be up into the pad. I want it to go in, so it starts extended, goes in, toggle, auto reset. Yep. Now let's just look compared to the reference image. Not too bad, not too bad. So we build it out more, and then add another engine. Right about here. Just like this. Yep. That looks fine. And we will do some TLC to this engine. So add this, and here. And by the looks of it in the image, you can't really see. You can see on the end engine here. You can't really see it for the other one. It starts to angle upwards. So if this. Add another one of these. I want to get down there, yes. And we can angle that into the plane. So I'll have a double layer of wings. Like that. Let's connect, let's add a block piece here, so actually connects. Add another one to the other engine. Okay, that's starting to look good. After this, it starts to angle towards the tip of the wing in a relatively subtle way at first, so we'll use a 4x1 into another. Actually, it's pretty much the same angle either way. How does that look compared to the rest of the plane? In terms of the wingspan. Pretty good. Oh, I'm happy with that. This can continue up to here, where we will do that. And the back of it is fairly flat. By the looks of things, actually, it has a curve from here, like that, and then it's flat. So if we do something like this, and then let it be flat, okay. We'll do it from here. Yeah, that looks better. That looks way better, actually. Yeah, so this will be a wing piece with the flaps, so we can use it as an aileron. To change that later. Do we have enough room for another? No, we don't, because it's not quite big enough. So we'll use a small wing piece, and there. That's one of the wings done, so these aren't connected at all, so we're going to want to use some flat connectors to connect them. And all it takes is one, okay. And now we select the entire wing, duplicate it to the other side. Now it's starting to look like this one. Now we're going to start transitioning it towards the tail. I think we'll add 2 more 2x4s this way and then start angling up. It's looking decent. How's it look from the front? Taking a whole angle view, wide angle view, compare it to the reference image. I think that looks fine. And by the looks of it, the tail, the large tail fin, the center one, the horizontal stabilizer, starts pretty early. Now, let's do this, and then that, and then this, yes, and then this. That looks like, okay, let's lower it by 1, otherwise it'll get too tall. Yep, that looks fine by me. Fine with me, whatever. Grammar. Actually, in the image, it's got a gun on the back. So, we will... Looks like there's a something at the base of the tail fin here, but it doesn't look like exactly a cockpit. But it's got guns there, so let's add what that is. Don't need to do that. So let's add this, but we'll sink it in and build around it. And then we can add the guns, which will be 2 of these again. Okay, this is gonna need to connect to something. Let's do like that so it doesn't stick out too much. There we go. Now we've got that sorted. We will continue with the tail. Since it's a pretty big creation, do we want the fins to use the big ones? Okay, do we want something slightly higher? Yeah. Alright. How's that look? It's kind of at an angle like this. Yeah, that tail is fine for now. Now it's on to the vertical stabilizers. The elevator tail. Okie dokie. Fairly straightforward, it looks like, for this. Wow, this is becoming a pretty big build. I feel like this could actually, before I get too distracted, this could be moved this way. This should make it look, yeah, I think that looks better instead of it going up into the tail and the tail being really long. There we go. Right, now we've got that out of the way, now we can start focusing on the elevator tail. Okay. It's not that, it's not that wide. So we'll go from here. Remember this. Then we will make sure it's flattened. Okay, so let's add the elevator tail piece, which is elevator fin. Let's add that to the middle back, about there. Okay. No, we want Okay, this is starting to look better. Yeah, and then we add this there. There we go. And now we fill this in with one of these and one of these and more of these. Okay, this will be interesting to fill in. 1x3 for this. 1x4. 1x4. No. Let's do a 1x3 1x2. How does that look? That looks much better. And now we can duplicate this to the other side. Yes. Yes, okay. That looks pretty decent. Let's see if it flies. I don't expect it to. Alright. Let's try that again. Let's do a bit of testing. Ooh. That could be bad. The top gunner shoots the tail, but oh well. Right, do we roll? Yes, we do. Might want to increase that. The roll isn't too important in a bomber. Obviously, it is still important. Okay, I need to invert the controls of the yaw. Okay. I'm going to do some last minute adjustments, paint it up, and then I'll be with you once I'm done. Right, it's been all painted up. This is the finished result. Pretty proud of it, actually. A couple of changes I've done is I've added these side gunners here, because I looked back at my reference image and noticed it's got gunners on the side there. I'm not sure what else to say to that. I changed the transparency of the blocks at the cockpit for the pilot. Change this. Added star here and here because it's a US vehicle. First, before we test fly it, let's compare it to the size of the Lancaster. That's the wrong seat. As you can see, they're fairly similar sizes, with the Lancaster being slightly bigger, at least in terms of wingspan, but they have very similar sizes. This one's got 530 out of 700 complexity, whereas this one's got 577. So they're very similar in terms of block complexity and block count as well. So let's test fly it then. I didn't end up adding the landing gear at the back, but let's take off. Gear up. Flies pretty nicely. Yaws decently as well. Actually, it yaws pretty well. I think this one flies better than the Lancaster. Right, let's test out the bombs, the bombing capabilities. Let's bomb the Lancaster. Coming in hot. See it? I'm probably gonna miss. No. Yeah, I missed. Oh well. But you can see it's got decent bombing capabilities. And it flies pretty well. Let's try not to crash it. As I say, it flies pretty... I'm gonna crash it. Plop, 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 plop. I'm gonna crash. Oh, that was very close. That was very close. Let's see if we can land it. We won't be able to. Oh, look at that. The entire right wing's just gone. Yeah, that's it. That's the Super Fortress. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it looks decent, and it compares fairly well to the Lancaster I've built. Yeah, look at them. I think they look pretty cool. And that's about it. So if you did enjoy this video, feel free to hit that like button, and maybe even subscribe. You don't have to, but if you notice that you're enjoying my content and haven't subscribed, it would help me out quite a lot. And share this with your friends if you think they'll learn anything from it, if you think you learned something from it. And see you in the next one. Goodbye.